Before you settle in, pause with me for a moment. If you're watching this and there is a specific name that keeps rising in your spirit, not randomly, not emotionally, but quietly and consistently, I want you to type one word in the comments right now. Here. Do it as an act of agreement, not curiosity. When you comment early, you're not just boosting engagement, you're signaling to God that you're present, attentive, and ready to discern. Scripture says, the sheep recognize the shepherd's voice. This moment matters. Now listen closely. There are seasons when God speaks loudly, and there are seasons when He speaks repeatedly. Repetition is not God struggling to get His point across. Repetition is God anchoring truth into your spirit. If the same name keeps surfacing in prayer, during worship, in quiet moments you didn't invite it, this message is not meant to stir fantasy. It's meant to bring clarity, peace, and alignment. The title of this word is not accidental. Why God keeps repeating the same name as your spouse. Not why you can't forget the name, not why you're emotionally attached, but why God keeps bringing it back. There is a difference. In the book of Isaiah, God says, "You will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" Notice something powerful. The voice doesn't shout, it guides, and it often repeats because guidance is directional, not dramatic. God repeats what is important when timing, obedience, or preparation is involved. Many people miss this because they assume if God is speaking, it will come with fireworks, but more often it comes with quiet consistency. Here's what you need to understand. God does not repeat names to tease hearts. He repeats names to train discernment. When God places a name in your spirit, He is not only pointing to a person, He is highlighting a process connected to that person. This is where many get stuck. You think the name is about romance alone. God is saying it's about refinement, readiness, and responsibility. Proverbs tells us that plans succeed with counsel. God is the wisest counselor. He does not casually attach someone to your future without shaping you for what that future requires. Sometimes the name repeats because you are still becoming who you need to be to steward the connection correctly. Let me say this carefully and clearly. Repetition does not always mean immediacy. It means intentionality. In Genesis, God called Abraham's name twice when He was about to confirm covenant, not emotion. Abraham, Abraham. That repetition marked alignment, not confusion. When God repeats, He is drawing your attention deeper, not faster. Now let me ask you something, and I want you to reflect honestly. When that name comes to mind, does it draw you closer to God or pull you into anxiety? Does it produce peace or restlessness? Because God's confirmations are marked by peace, even when the path is challenging. Colossians says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." Rule means act as an umpire. If the name leads you into striving, fear, obsession, or comparison, then God may be revealing something that still needs healing, not rushing something that needs fulfillment. This is also why God repeats names during waiting seasons. Waiting is not punishment. Waiting is alignment. God repeats so you don't settle for substitutes, shortcuts, or counterfeits while He's preparing both sides. And yes, this message is for both women and men. God confirms purpose to sons and daughters. He does not play favorites with clarity.
If this is resonating, stay with me. In the description box below, I've linked a full playlist that goes deeper into God's confirmations and purpose in relationships. Do not binge it emotionally. Pray through it intentionally. Before we move forward, understand this truth. God does not repeat a name to trap you. He repeats it to train you to listen beyond emotion and into obedience. Now let's go deeper, because repetition without understanding can lead to confusion, and God is not the author of confusion. If the same name keeps surfacing, chapter 2 is where discernment matures into wisdom. One of the clearest truths Scripture gives us is found in Psalm 37. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. Notice the order. Commitment comes before clarity. Trust comes before manifestation. God often repeats a name not because the person is ready, but because your surrender is still in progress. Here is something many people do not like to hear, but it must be said honestly. Sometimes God repeats a name because you are still holding it too tightly. When something is truly from God, He does not need you to cling to it. He asks you to place it on the altar. In 1 Samuel, Hannah spoke a name before she ever held a child. She released Samuel before she received him. That is the posture God looks for. When God repeats a name, He is asking, "Can you trust me with this without controlling it?" If every time the name comes up, you rush ahead mentally, imagining timelines, outcomes, and conversations, God may be slowing you down, not speeding things up. Divine repetition often means God is saying, "Stay here until I finish what I'm doing in you." Another reason God repeats a name is separation. Not separation from the person, but separation from distractions. When God highlights one thing consistently, He is also dimming the noise of everything else. This is how He protects you from emotional entanglements that look good but are not aligned. Jesus said in John 10 that His followers know His voice and will not follow the voice of a stranger. That means repetition sharpens recognition. God repeats what is His so you don't confuse it with what is familiar, flattering, or available. Let me be very clear here. God's confirmation does not bypass character. If the name keeps repeating, God is working on integrity, patience, humility, and timing on both sides, whether you can see it or not. What you don't see does not mean God is not working. Ecclesiastes reminds us that God makes everything beautiful in its time, not early, not forced, not pressured. If the name comes back even when you've tried to let it go, that does not mean you chase it. It means you steward it in prayer. This is where maturity shows. Instead of asking, "When will this happen?" the better question becomes, "Who am I becoming while I wait?" Because the version of you required for covenant is often different from the version of you that first noticed the name. God repeats because He is consistent. Humans rush because they are impatient. When you align with God's pace, anxiety loses its grip. Here is the balance you need to hear. Do not idolize the name. Do not ignore the name. Surrender the name. Philippians says that God works in you to will and to act according to His good purpose. That means even your awareness is guided, but your obedience is required. If this word has spoken to you, don't keep it to yourself. At the end of this video, I want you to comment one word that represents your posture right now. Just one word: peace, trust, waiting, faith. Let that comment be your prayer in public. Also, take a moment to like this video. Liking is not just support for the channel, it helps this message reach someone who has been praying quietly for confirmation. Share it with someone who needs clarity, not pressure. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This space exists to help you discern God's voice without fear, manipulation, or confusion. Everything linked in the description box, including the playlist, is there to help you grow, not rush. God is not repeating the name to torment you. He is repeating it to prepare you.